Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something that really affects every single one of us, how we learn. The skills that got you through high school, they're probably not the same skills you need for college, or for your career, or frankly, just for making sense of the world today. So it's time for an upgrade.
So, let's just kick things off with a big question. I want you to think back to your school days for a second. You had your teachers, you had clear assignments, and the tests, well, they mostly just checked if you could remember stuff, right? But did that whole system really get you ready for the kind of thinking you have to do out here, in the real world?
For so many people, that jump from the super structured world of school to higher learning, it feels like hitting a brick wall. All of a sudden, the rules are different, what's expected of you is totally changed, and you're pretty much on your own. So let's break down what this wall is actually made of.
Okay, let's really look at this shift. In school, you basically had a safety net, right? Constant support from teachers, these nice little bite-sized assignments, and the main goal was just remembering things for the test. But then you get to university and poof, that net is gone. You're in these massive classes with way less one-on-one help, and the work demands that you go so far beyond just memorizing. The responsibility for your learning? Yeah, it shifts completely onto your shoulders.
So here's the bottom line. The game is no longer about being a passive sponge, just soaking up facts and squeezing them out on an exam. The real challenge now is to transform yourself into an active, independent thinker, someone who can analyze, question, and actually apply knowledge in brand new situations.
Now, just to make things interesting, let's add another huge layer to all of this. This entire transformation is happening in the middle of the digital age. Technology has completely reshaped our world, and when it comes to learning, well, it can be both our greatest friend and our worst enemy. And it's not just some tool we use here and there anymore. Technology is the landscape. It's the whole environment. From the online platforms we use, to the digital libraries, to how we communicate for classes, it is literally everywhere. So, to master modern learning, you first have to master your relationship with tech. And that relationship, well, it's a real double-edged sword. I mean, look at this. The benefits are incredible. We have instant access to pretty much all of human knowledge. But the challenges? They're just as big. We are constantly fighting things like misinformation, the feeling of being totally overloaded with information, and of course, endless distractions. And let's get really specific about what these hurdles look like. We're talking about that constant battle to figure out what's reliable and what's not. That stress you feel from just too much information, the magnetic pull of social media when you're supposed to be studying, and the very real need to build up your digital literacy and critical thinking skills just to keep your head above water. So, the big question is, how do we get over these hurdles and break through that wall? Well, the solution is in a framework, a way of thinking about how we learn. We're going to walk through 4 distinct stages that can take you from just a basic learner to a true innovator.
We all start here, at stage 1, knowledge acquisition. Think of this as level 1. It's rote learning, simply absorbing facts, a lot of the time without really understanding them. You're basically just imitating what you're told and accepting it without question. It's a necessary foundation for sure, but it is just the starting line.
From there, you level up to stage 2, knowledge construction. This is where things get interesting. It's where you stop just passively accepting information and you start asking questions. You dig into the what, the how, and the why to build real, solid meaning. You're not a passive sponge anymore. You're an active builder of your own understanding. Stage 3, knowledge navigation, is, wow, it might be the most crucial skill for today's world. This is where you learn to handle that information overload we were just talking about. It's the ability to find what you need, to critically evaluate it, and then, and this is key, apply that knowledge to solve actual problems. And finally, we reach the highest level, the boss level, knowledge innovation. This isn't just about understanding what already exists, it's about creating something new. It's about applying everything you've learned and all the technology at your disposal to generate novel ideas, to solve a really complex problem, or to expand what we all know. And here you can see the entire journey laid out, nice and clear. It's a direct path from that passive memorization in stage 1 all the way up to creative innovation in stage 4. Each stage builds on the one before it, giving you more and more sophisticated mental tools. This right here is your roadmap to upgrading your mind. Okay, so having the map is one thing, but having the right tools for the journey, that's another. So let's talk about the practical, micro skills you actually need to climb this ladder. And these aren't just random skills. These are the keys that are going to unlock each new stage for you.
The very first tool in your new toolkit is precision language. And this is non-negotiable because clear thinking and clear communication are two sides of the exact same coin. This is the skill that helps you move from just acquiring knowledge in stage 1 to truly constructing it in stage 2. You just can't build with foggy ideas.
And here's a perfect example of what I mean. Look at that first sentence. It's so clunky and repetitive. Now, just by using simple pronouns like it and these, the connection between the ideas becomes smooth, it becomes efficient, the writing is instantly more sophisticated. It is such a small change, but it has a huge impact on clarity.
All right, the second tool is an internal one, critical self-reflection. To really succeed, you have to become the manager of your own learning. This tool is what's going to power your climb into stages 3 and 4. You can't navigate that world of information or innovate anything new if you don't first understand your own blind spots, your own habits, and your own strengths.
Now, these tools are really supported by a foundation of essential skills that fuel your whole climb. We're talking about sharpening your critical thinking, boosting your digital literacy so you can navigate the online world, actually making time for that crucial self-reflection, and, of course, effectively managing your own time and priorities.
So let's bring this all together. We've seen the learning wall, we've talked about the challenges of technology, and we've laid out a 4-stage roadmap with a toolkit to help you on your way. The ultimate goal, the whole point of this, is to complete that transformation into a truly active learner.
Here's your takeaway, boiled down into 3 simple steps. First, just recognize that fundamental shift from being a passive memorizer to an active thinker. Second, understand and consciously work your way through those 4 stages of learning, from acquisition all the way to innovation. And third, start building your toolkit right now with precision language and critical self-reflection.
And we'll end with one final question to turn all of this from an explainer into real action. Take a second for some of that self-reflection we talked about. What is your single biggest learning weakness right now? And based on what we've covered, what is one concrete step you can take to start fixing it? The upgrade, it starts with you.